as we get set for the tip here in Traralgon. And Kayla George gets us underway. As that first shot is just off target, and there is Christy Wallace, and we're going to be speaking a fair bit about Christy Wallace in this game. She raises up and knocks down the first bucket of the game. It was Mia Murray putting up that three-point attempt. She's one of 3 players in the top 10 in the WNBL for three-point shots, but there is the Caps' first three-point shot of the game.
And Beck Pizzi getting a win in her first ever start against Bendigo.
And then, just like that, Wallace responds, gets the rebound. So not a great shooting start for the Caps on offense, as Goodchild kicks it out, and Kayla George loves that mid-range corner shot.
Over a decade, that's her shot in the short corner.
Burrell has a wide open look for 3 and knocks it down.
And the positive outlook that she would have, you know, around that young Canberra team.
Burrell hoping for a second triple, and she splashes it down. George and Wallace working in tandem. They're 2 stars as Wallace goes solo. Doesn't get the lucky roll. Strong offensive rebound from George, who fades away and banks it in. So they've got the ball back here off the missed free throw shot. Can make it a three-point play, or maybe even more, as Wallace nails it.
The past couple of possessions or shot attempts that she's taken, they've been really contested.
Need to shoot for the Caps, and that rattles in as Melbourne hits the deck behind the play, and then a turnover. Munga trying to drive her way inside. That's just awesome, tough, gritty stuff.
Look at some of the statistics earlier yesterday, actually, and she's 8th in the league, I believe 7th or 8th.
The Bendigo as well, coming off a very strong NBL 1 season with Newcastle, as Murray had a really good look for 3, and Bank is well and truly open.
Continue their cut or finish their cut all the way in the corner and trying to open up that space for the ball handler.
There's about a 9-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Paige Burrows going to work. George puts up a long-range 3 and nails it. Wallace, George, Murray, Davidson. Beautiful team basketball, terrific ball movement.
Murray and Goodchild ran their cuts to the corner. It opened up vertical space as well as horizontal space. So where they didn't get anything primarily, they're able to get that high-low look on the second side of the floor.
George with the block on Burrell. And the Boomers are really feeling it at the moment. Goodchild misses. Caps need a couple of stops in a row here just to ensure it doesn't get away from them. Beautiful crossover from Melbourne, and the finish as well. That's one way. Here's Kalia for Swain. Melbourne cut inside. Swain didn't go that way, went herself in the end, and that's the young class on display. So Melbourne and Swain coming up with strong plays against the grain for the Caps. George, that's tough. Here's Wallace for George. Puts it up for 3. She can do no wrong. Not even halfway through the second. Kalia hands off for Melbourne. Great basketball, great presence of mind by Melbourne. Great cut from Pizzi. Handing off for Goodchild. Wallace puts it up from the Kayla George area.
So she's able to find a little bit more time, and she can be deadly if you give her both time and space.
Swain reverses, can't get it to go. Munga with the offensive rebound and the putback in for 2.
Maybe she was too open.
Maybe. Kalia thought about passing to Munga, instead drove inside, and Pizzi for a second triple. Knocks it down, she should shoot more.
The ball stopped late in the shot clock, and then that's when Melbourne was able to load with defenders.
Brown cuts it inside. Beautiful way to pass there for George. Fair afternoon at the office already, and we're not even halfway through this game. Burrell, that was tough. Drew the contact. No foul was called. Goodchild missed the uncontested shot there. Melbourne brings down the rebound. Able to get rid of Wallace there. Terrific maturity and composure showed by Jade Melbourne. Turnover here. Fumble, and Murray can't make the Caps pay at the other end.
And this is where they've got to attack quickly.
Burrell for 3. Lovely stroke. It's a 19-11 second quarter in favour of Canberra. Brown for George. Reverses, scores. 22 for KG.
It's time and space to attack.
Great to have you with us on 9 Now as the second half gets underway, and Beck Pizzi involved once again, this time on the inside. Great to have Mark Alabakoff in special comments today as Goodchild finds Murray for Davidson, trying to bank it in, and she does off the glass.
I like that offense, though. They were able to move the ball to three sides of the floor, create a time and space advantage, force a defender to have to help, and then they found CG in the corner.
Authority and lay it in. Give the Caps another couple. They are well within this game at the moment as Goodchild pulls the trigger from deep and knocks it down. Impressive shot. Did all the hard work. With too much heat off the glass from Miela Goodchild. Then Swain left all by herself, cuts inside and drops it in. Davidson looking to hand it off. Goodchild back in for Davidson. Good strength rather from Davidson, and she gets her second field goal of the quarter. Miela Goodchild and Penina Davidson getting the start today for the Melbourne Boomers. Here's George from the charity stripe, knocks it down. Nice defense there from Davidson, and then Burrell steps back and knocks down the two. That's just too good. That shot falls well short, and Burrell grits the teeth, kicks up the tempo, pulls up from the free throw line and knocks it down. Wallace for Brown. For Wallace, season opening, steps through and lays it in. Count the points. Did everything right there except put it in the hoop. George feeling it at the other end.
The Capitals keep battling for extra touches, extra possessions.
Great ball movement. George has a good look for three, and she's got 30. For Carmody, who's come onto the floor in the last couple of minutes. Wallace for Carmody, who wants George, who's fading away and knocking it down. Been named in that extended Opal squad, just haven't had their most efficient night on offense to date. George for three. Boom! 37, Kayla G. Kicks it out for Burrows. Not too long left on the shot clock. Did she get it off in time? Points count. With 37 points and 17 rebounds. You sense she's left a few points out of the floor tonight as Davidson. The Burrows girls combine. Missed opportunity there from Swain as Wallace goes to work. Burrows again for three. Oh, no one guarding Davidson. She's just banks in the easiest points of her WNBL career.
For Penina Davidson to come in and try to score is probably not the thing that she's known for within this team. So being a great screener and rebounder is probably her identity.
Sophie Burrows and Paige Burrows sharing the ball as we down towards the final minute of this one. Brewster inside for Davidson, who lost control. Here's Shanice Swain, 3 of 18 from the field, including 0 of 5 from three-point land. That was nice ball movement, though, from the Caps, although the finish was off target. And to shoot here for Goodchild, who again shows great confidence and poise. Davidson try to tip in. One final opportunity sense here for the Caps to try and get the margin under 20 points. Munga will put up the three, and she misses. And Davidson brings down the rebound on what has been a pretty satisfying afternoon for the Melbourne Boomers. Goodchild will step back and look to put the icing on the cake.